Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday morning, the 28th of June. In this episode, we're talking about what the role of a CEO is. And this is inspired by Pep Guardiola. As many of you know, I'm a massive, massive Man City fan. Don't forget, by the way, before I get into that, if you haven't already done so, make sure you sign up to my newsletter, mrselfstorage.com. It is where all the cool kids hang around. Every single day, apart from Saturdays and Sundays, we give you a self-storage tip. We give you 3 industry news and all my figures. Yes, every single one of my figures we will give you. We will lift the lid of behind the scenes for my self-storage facility. So ultimately, I'm documenting my journey to a 9-figure exit. Stop laughing. We've got 6 sites. By the next year, the idea is to have 15 sites. Can't wait. I mean, I did a post about overtrading on LinkedIn today. I mean, going from 6 sites to 15 sites in the space of 18 months. That is overtrading if I've ever heard it. But do you know what? If I want to get to that 9, do you know what? It's not really a 9-figure exit. I love this. I love the game, the business. I love the worrying about cash flow. I love going through cash flow. I love it. The ducking, the diving. It's brilliant. It's really, really, really enjoyable. And I feel like we have picked an awesome, awesome industry to be in. There couldn't be a better industry. It is a gift that keeps on giving. And I keep questioning all the time, not that I'm really successful, by the way, but we're doing all right. Would I be this successful in, I feel stupid saying successful. Would I be doing this well? Not that I'm doing, and I want to get better. Shut up, Dean. All right, would I be doing this well in another industry? And the pure and simple answer is, I don't know, but I suspect probably not, because this industry is brilliant at the minute. Brilliant. Willoughby is nearly the same square foot occupied as it was during COVID. Incredible. We are taking the most money we've ever taken at Willoughby. It's fantastic, this industry. It's a gift that keeps on giving. So do I think I'd be this, in brackets, successful in another industry? Probably not. And I think that the problem this industry has got is we don't know how easy we've got it. That's the problem. Right now, we're playing business on easy mode in self-storage. And I don't really feel like we know what it's like to play like on hard mode. I had a restaurant. It was a massive, massive, massive failure. It was the worst 18 months of my life. It was horrible. And that was playing business on hard mode, was the restaurant. Luckily, we sold it. And what makes matters even worse is the guy who I sold it to 6 years ago, 5 years ago, he's still there. He's still making a living from it. I'm like, fucking hell, Jesus Christ, I must have done something wrong, clearly. But there we go. Anyway, so that's why I feel like we've got to keep learning all the time, keep educating ourselves, keep pushing ourselves, get mentors, get courses. By the way, my course is available live on Monday. Do not forget it. Up level your skills, buy my course. No, in all seriousness, forget my course. I do think that we need to be realistic here, because at the minute self-storage is on easy mode, and it won't always be the case. There's competition coming around every corner. I know one of my sites, I know there's 2 operators coming and potentially a 3rd one in a space of half a mile. And that's okay, because I've just got to be a better operator than them. If I'm a better operator than them, then I win. And if you're a better operator than your competition, you win. And I would say vast majority of operators probably D's or C operators, but we're getting A-class results. And the problem is we don't know who's an A operator, who's a B operator, who's a C operator, because we're all getting outstanding results. And unfortunately, results don't show us who the good operators are, because everyone's getting good results. Everybody in self-storage is getting good results right now. And it will change. It will turn around. It will get tougher to operate in self-storage. 5 years from now, we'll look back and think, do you remember them 5 years ago when we only had three competitors or 2 competitors or 5 competitors, whatever it may be? Competition is coming. But all that means is we need to up-level our skills, but not to scaremonger anybody, because competition is coming, that's fine. But demand for self-storage is also increasing massively as well. And I still believe that demand, even though I don't think it was articulated this way in the yearly report, I still think demand is increasing faster than supply. I think that the supply will slow down this year because people are more tentative and worried about the economy, etc. So I don't think there's going to be as many self-storage facilities opening Oh, maybe there is, because there's a lot. I know loads of people on my course who are opening self-storage left, right, and center. But yes, if you want to get in self-storage, now is the time. Yes, it was better 10 years ago, but I tell you what, now is going to be better than 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line. And as Gavin Shields said in the podcast interview we did on Wednesday, if you haven't seen it, by the way, go and see it. It is amazing. And then, by the way, I'll get to the actual podcast of the CEO thing that I'm talking about. Yeah, as Gavin Shields says, there's always going to be opportunities in this market, but they're just going to be dressed up differently. So at the minute, opening up self-storages is probably the way to go. But then in 10 years' time, it might be acquisitions. It might be to do roll-ups. It might be to do added value with your acquisitions, making sure that you can increase their revenue, decrease their costs, whatever it may be. And by the way, that's not a bad play to do right now. I did that at Wrexham, and we've increased the profit at Wrexham by 7 times. 7 times. Mental. Absolutely mental. And we've had it 15 months, something like that, 16 months, and we've increased the profit 7 times. That is brilliant. So that is still a playbook that we can use now, but I think the low-hanging fruit is to open up self-storages now, and that's why I want to get to 15 by this time next year. Yeah, having 15 self-storage facilities this time next year will be amazing. And the route I'm going down at the minute, because of obviously cash flows, etc., I will be doing more container sites. I believe the next 3 sites are going to be container sites. We're putting 2 offers at the minute for 2 more sites. I know what you're thinking. Where are you going to get this money from, Dean? I have no idea. I've got options, but I don't want to use them. Hopefully, you will buy my bloody course, and I can just reinvest all that money, and I can and then we can put it into self-storage again. And then I can document the whole journey, learn more about self-storage, and then put it in the course, and then more people buy it, and I can buy more self-storage. That's the ultimate quest. But whether we get enough people to buy the course is another matter. I think we sold 44 last time, which was incredible. So we'll see how many we sign up this time, sell this time. So yeah, ultimately, I do think that so many people are interested in self-storage now, and people are going to be opening up, and demand is increasing as well. So I think it's still a fantastic time to open self-storage. But like I said, the operators who don't invest in themselves, I really, really do fear for you, because I just feel like we need to. Your job as CEO, going transition perfect to what I want to talk about today. What a transition! I'm getting good at this. I should be a news anchor. Yeah, your job as a CEO or as a leader or as a manager in your company is up level your skills all the time. Be listening to podcasts, selling, sales, persuasion, all that sort of thing. Listen to some sort of podcast, listen to books, listen about funnels, marketing, whatever you can learn. Educate yourself, keep educating yourself, because if we don't, I promise it's gonna feel like it's getting harder and harder and harder. Because if you're not up leveling yourself and increasing your skills, then I promise you somebody else will be, and they'll be overtaking you. The amount of people that I've seen in this industry, in other industries, friends of mine, I can think of one friend of mine in particular who has never up-leveled the skill. It was an industry leader at one point, and now they're not. They're no longer an industry leader. And why? Because people have surpassed them, because they've educated themselves. Education doesn't stop when you finish school or college or university. That's when your real education starts. And I'm a massive, massive advocate for that. And yeah, the amount of money I spend on mentors, etc., because I want to better myself, and I know that I need to compete in 10 years' time. I need to be better than I am right now. So how am I going to get better than I am right now? I'm going to learn off other people. I'm going to make sure that I read books, listen to podcasts, get mentors, take courses. So my question to you is, how are you, if you're going to compete in 10 years, how are you going to get better from how you are today? There needs to be a clear plan, a clear strategy, a clear way forward, how you're going to get better. You need to know that. Anyway, enough lecturing. I feel like I've proper lectured you all today, but I feel so passionate about this, and I don't want people to get left behind. The fact that you're listening to a self-storage podcast and listening to me witter on suggests that you are that person who wants to get better anyway, and you are educating yourself. There is tons of self-storage podcasts in America, and yes, it's not always applicable to what we do over here, but I can damn sure tell you that you will be better off listening to them than listening to music in your car or whatever. Invest in yourself. Invest the time needed to improve. AJ Osborne's podcast is awesome. Stacey Rossetti's podcast is awesome. Chris, but Benetti? No, it's not Chris Benetti. That's somebody else. Shit. Anyway, his podcast is awesome as well. There is and apologies if I've missed any self-storage podcasts out there. Oh, Jim Ross, my good old friend Jim Ross, his podcast. If anyone can see me now, I've gone red. I've gone red because I can't remember someone's name. Well, I can't remember. It's Chris, but I forgot his second name. Jim Ross's podcast. That is unbelievable. Honestly, that is probably, I would say, the go-to podcast to listen to, because his expertise is incredible. Even going down, if you go back through his feed as well, he does callbacks. So he records he does callbacks. He does calls to other self-storage facilities, and then he literally records them. Say, hi, have you got any 10x10s available? And goes through the whole process. And then he actually strips out and says, look, this is what I'd do differently. If I was in that situation, I would do A, B, C different, and you would get better conversions. Jim, bring them back. We need to bring them back. It is incredible. Jim's been on this podcast a couple of times. I've been on his podcast as well, and he's just an absolutely sound individual. And so I would recommend you to listen to podcasts like that as well, because I promise you, you will learn so much. Do you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Jim Ross's podcast is the first time that I heard about doing price increases. And we'd been open Stormore for maybe a year. And I was like, oh, price increases, eh? Didn't know that. Angela, did you do price increases at Armadillo? Yes. Yeah. Right, let's do them. And so that was the whole reason. That has made me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds, that one podcast. So there's always something you can learn from everybody and any given, if your ears are open, by the way, any given podcast or book or anything. Anyway, right. How long have I been going for now? Jesus Christ, that 14 minutes of just lecturing you. Sorry about that. Happy Friday, everybody. Right. And by the way, my course goes live on Monday. I swear to God, this was not a pitch for me to sell my course. I didn't even think about it, but then when I was talking, I was thinking, that aligns perfectly with my course. And by the way, I'm just going to mention, and then I'll shut up about my course. My course has never, ever been better. And by the way, the people who bought last time will get all these bonuses. Gavin Shields has done a remote management, a remote site training. Incredible. There has been Laura Moxham. I call Laura Mox. I thought her name was Laura Mox until recently. Sorry, Laura. And she has been awesome. She's been so kind. And she's done a training all about pay-per-clicks. I said to Laura, Laura, you've got to make sure that you give everything away like I'm giving away. I'm giving absolutely everything away on my playbook. She said, of course I will. And if anybody wants help after that, I'm here. And I was like, brilliant. Went for a training. And I was like, that's how it works. So I'm not PPC expert at all, but I really enjoyed it. I was like, that's what didn't know you could do that. So that's in the course as well. And then we've got my good friend and mentor, Dan Bradbury. He is talking about financial literacy. There's a test that you can take. And then depending on what you score on your test, you go down different trainings. Massive, massive effort from Dan. Until this point, you could only get this training through Dan's mastermind. But Dan's been graceful enough, and I pay him shit tons of money every single year, over 40 grand a year, I think it is. And I get one-on-one. It works out about every 3 weeks, but he does offer it every 2 weeks. But I can't make a lot of them because of holidays and stuff. So one every 3 weeks, I reckon I get. And yeah, it's a lot of money, but holy shit, do I get some massive, massive big results from it. And so it's definitely worth value to me. And do you know what Dan said? Dan said to me once during COVID, when we lost 33% of customers, he was ringing up all his students, all the people in the mastermind, and saying, look, if you can't afford it, I'll help you for free. If you tell me you can't afford it, I'll do it for free. I'm like, what a guy. And I said, Dan, do you know what? Because one thing, I will never, ever leave your mentorship. Because for saying that and actually genuinely caring about business owners and saying, look, if you can't afford it, I'll do it for free, then mate, I'm in. Where do I sign up for lifetime? But that showed me. Unfortunately for self-storage, our downtime was only very, very limited. It didn't last for very long. And so I had to pay him, which I wanted to pay him, because if I didn't pay him, it meant that we were doing shit and I didn't want to do shit. But luckily we did good self-storage. Self-storage is an industry that keeps on working through bad times and good times. And yeah, it's like a boat, just goes rides the waves ups and downs. So yeah, it's fantastic. So Dan's got a training on that as well, and then I've added in some more good stuff as well. And yeah, I'll continue to improve this course. I want it to be the go-to training. There ain't much training on self-storage anywhere in the UK, but I want it to be the go-to training for the UK. And a few people have bought the course from America. And unfortunately, I know we have an American audience, but it's not. I know the American market just because I'm in a mastermind in America and I listen to all the podcasts in America, so I understand it. But this training isn't really applicable because there's so many differences in America to there is here. Do you know what? I'd love to buy a self-storage in America. By the way, Stacey Rossetti is really, really good at buying. If you're in America and you want to learn from somebody, husband's all about operations. I think Stacey would be fair to say that she's not particularly good on operations, but she's good on the other stuff. And her husband looks after the operations. But Stacey's very, very knowledgeable, very, very likable. She's been on this podcast as well. And if you want to learn about buying self-storage in America, she's for the more beginner, I would say. She's a beginner side. And then you've got AJ Osborne, Self-Storage Income, who is more for beginners as well. But I think that podcast becomes more professionalized, if you like. I hope I haven't offended anybody, but that's where I say. Right, anyway, on to this bloody episode. Right, as many of you know, I've got these notes written down here. As many of you know, I'm a massive, massive Man City fan. We was last game of the season, and yes, we was one of those people who went on the pitch. Well, I say we was one of those people. The wife said, she was sat next to me, don't go on the pitch, don't go on the pitch, don't go on the pitch. I'm like, all right, we won't go on the pitch. And loads of people went on the pitch. And obviously, they tell me, said, please don't go on the pitch, please go on the pitch. And all we did was we literally, when everybody was on the pitch, so no danger for the kids, obviously. I'm making more obvious than it was. We just took a snapshot on the pitch. It was absolutely awesome. And Zach was doing like an angel on the floor. What are you doing? But yeah, it was literally for a couple of seconds and then we got off. Right, okay. Pep Guardiola, our manager, he was interviewed recently and he said something I want to share. Now, this is the proper episode I came on to talk about, not about selling my course, even though I didn't mean to sell my course, but I did sell my course. I transitioned into selling my course, but I didn't mean to. It was organic. I swear to God as well, it was. Right. Okay, and I put, I wanted to share it because it's not just about sport. It's not just about Man City. It can be translated into business as well as sport. Hear what he said. As a CEO, your job is to help make your team be the best they can be on and off the pitch. So pitch is work for us. So I'll read it again. As a CEO, your job is to help make your team be the best that they can be on and off the pitch work. I love that. I love that because he's not just saying, listen, my job is to make sure my team are the best on the pitch, because he realizes what makes them the best on the pitch is also what makes them the best individuals off the pitch, how happy they are, what they're going through. You've got to spend time with them. So I put here, my takeaway for this is I don't just want to help my team to be good at their job. I want to help my team to be the best versions of themselves at work and at home. I love this line I put here. I don't see this as a responsibility. I see this as an honor. Do you know why I love that line? I'm getting a bit tearful here. I can actually feel my tear ducts going and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, that's true. I love that line because it's true. If you are a team leader, it's not a responsibility. It's an honor to look after them people, make sure they're okay, and be there for them when they need you at work and away from work as well. And I would like to think, I'm just trying to think if there's any occasion when my team don't think I'm there for them. No, I genuinely mean that break, by the way, is silence, because I was actually genuinely thinking about people who I've worked with in the past at the restaurant, worked with in the past in the betting shop, worked with in self-storage. And I would be absolutely devastated if any person who's ever worked with me says that I wasn't there for them. I don't think there is. So it's an honor to be there for people and make sure that they can be the best version of themselves. Live up to their, what's the word? Who they can be. But shit, I've got it back of my tongue. I can't find it. Anyway, so we've got to make sure, we've got to help them live up to who they can be. And I put here, as a CEO, we are investing in people. I love to work with good people. Being around good people makes you and me a better person. Oh, it really does as well. And I've got an example here. You are the average of the 5 people you hang around most with. Now, that's been said 1,000,001 times on podcasts, books, everything. But it's true. It's said that so much because it's true. If you hang around with 5 alcoholics, you're going to be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 deadbeats, you're going to be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 millionaires, you can't fucking help but be the 6th millionaire because it rubs off. Have you ever noticed that it's like a gang, and people say, well, they won't do it on the road. No, they won't, because we get influenced by other people. We get influenced so much. Best version of themselves. Best version of themselves. That's what they're looking for, version. Anyway, back to where I was a second ago. Jesus Christ. If you're keeping up with me, then you're incredible. Right. So, yeah, we just need to make sure and be careful and audit who we listen to and who we hang around with, because they have a massive impact and influence over us. If you have 5 amazing salespeople, guess what? You'll become the 6th. I put last example here, but I've already used it. You can't help but be influenced. Be careful who you spend time with. They influence more than you'll ever know. That is so true. Remember, a rising tide lifts all boats. Oh, this is danger. Good at these. This is good. I put here. I forgot I wrote this. Be the rising tide for your team. I love that. It's great. Right. Store Nation, Store Famalam. I'm off because I've got loads of stuff to do for my course. Get it all ready. Did I mention the course again? The course is going live on Monday. So make sure you sign up. I'm aiming. No, I'm not going to tell you how much I'm aiming for. How many people I'm aiming for. And it's not monetary terms. It's how many people you can affect, how many people you can influence. Oh, we're going back to what I was talking about before. Yeah, I believe that. And by the way, this course isn't just for people who want to get into self-storage. There's only 2 modules about finding a self-storage site and what you should do. And I mean, it's, by the way, that's useful for if you're looking to expand ever, but also how we operate the sites as well. There's loads of stuff in there. I'm also going to do, Emma Banks, you're going to bloody love this. I'm also going to do a training about Facebook. I'm going to record it because we're going to try Facebook ads. It's not a training how to do Facebook ads. I'm going to get, for the next update of the course, and by the way, you will get this, I am going to pay an expert. I've already got a Google SEO expert in the course telling you how to do Google My Business, and we're talking about SEO. I've already got a pay-per-clicks expert. I've already got a remote management expert. I've got Dan Bradbury, financial expert, but I'm going to do a Facebook's expert as well, because we are going to start running Facebook ads. Can't believe I'm saying this. Emma Banks has been banging this drum for years and years and years to me, and I think she's coming on the podcast the week after next. We've got a meeting next week, but I don't know what the meeting. I don't know if it's for the podcast interview or because we just want to chat. I don't actually know. I just said, yeah, let's chat and chat. So it's either following Wednesday she's going to be on, or there'll be another time. But yeah, we'll get a Facebook ads expert to talk through it. But what I'm going to do is show you the potential of Facebook in the course and show you how other people are marketing on Facebook. Because what you want to do is you want to copy. Yeah, fuck it, copy. You want to. The great thing is Facebook, you can actually copy winning ads. You can. I'll show you in the course. You can find out. And by the way, I used to do Facebook ads shit ton in other businesses, and they were brilliant. But I do think they're more of a branding exercise on this occasion. But because I'm getting my course and stuff, we're going to start Facebook ads as well. So I do think that there's a place and a time for Facebook ads for self-storage. And we're going to go through and show you exactly how other people are marketing on Facebook. And we're going to dissect each advertisement and spend maybe 30 minutes showing you all the different self-storage ads there is on Facebook. And I'll show you a handy little tool how you can find them as well. It's some people know about it, but I realize that what's common knowledge to me and maybe somebody else isn't common knowledge to somebody else. So I'm going to show you how to find them, and then we're going to go through the Facebook ads as well. And then there is an ads expert that I know, but he's very, very expensive. But ultimately, it'll be worth it for the course and for me. And so I'm going to try and get him to do a module, if he even will do. But anyway, that's for the latest updates. But if you buy the course, you'll always get that update as well. Right. All right, my friends. Well, I'm going to chew your ear off on Monday more about the course anyway, so don't worry about it. By the way, if you don't want to buy my course, I would suggest this next week, don't open an email from me, don't go on the WhatsApp group, and don't listen to the podcast, because I promise you, I'll be ramming it down your neck. And do you know what? I don't feel guilty at all, because For one, I give out so much frigging free content. It's jab, 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 right hook every now and again. For me, it's jab, 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 and then it's right hook. So the jab's been giving stuff away. The right hook is like, buy something off me. And so I don't feel guilty because of that, but also I don't feel guilty because I know how fucking good this course is. I know it's really good. I know it can massively increase your revenue. It can massively help you find a new site. And I believe in it so much that if you buy it and don't like it, I'll give you full money back. I can't be fairer than that. And we'll part as friends. And that's it. All right, my friends, I'll shut up now for God's sake. 28 minutes. Jesus Christ, I've got loads to do. I'm that worn out. I'm going to have a Diet Coke and it is only 11:35. Right, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you on Monday when I'm going to annoy the shit out of you with my course. All right, see you soon. Bye.